Hello, I'm Keith Kreisher, the Executive Director of the IoT M2M Council, or IMC, talking to you from the show floor here at CES 2025 with my good friend and colleague, Ellen Boehm. Ellen is SVP of IoT Strategy with Keyfactor, a digital security provider. Ellen, good morning.
Hi, it's always great to talk to you.
Hey, a great show. I mean, I don't know if you've had a chance to look around yet, but we're very excited about what's going on here.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit to kick us off about Keyfactor. You know,
Sure.
What do you guys do? Where do you fit in the IoT ecosystem?
Yes. Yeah, so Keyfactor is a cybersecurity software company, and we have products that issue digital identities to secure endpoints, whether it's in the enterprise IT space or whether it's in connected devices, which is the world that I live in. Essentially, it's trying to make sure that you're only allowing authorized people and authorized devices to connect to these connected endpoints, which is super critical when we think about hackers having access to our systems and you know, wanting to be able to protect the data that comes from any of these connected things. So that's basically what we do. We provide software to OEMs and to enterprises to be able to issue unique digital certificates to these things, and then we also help manage them. So having a policy around being able to rotate those identities, refresh, revoke if something does get hacked, that's really what we do and what we've done for over 20 years now.
Great. You know, obviously the IMC has got a big initiative coming. By the way, Ellen is also the IMC Vice Chair and leading the charge on a new security initiative that we've got going, evaluating standards and certifications for IoT security, taking a more holistic approach, covering all layers of the IoT stack, which is a little bit different than what we've seen out there. But there's a lot going on the regulatory front right now.
Yes.
It's kind of pushing a lot of this, driving it. You know, you've got the CRA in Europe, you've got the cyber trust mark in the US. You know, how are these regulations going to change things moving forward for IoT makers and IoT users?
Yes, yeah, that's a great question, and I think the Cyber Resilience Act specifically, which impacts anyone who produces a device that will be sold and operated into Europe, there needs to be specific requirements around security, from everything from risk assessment to building in processes, secure processes, to having secure firmware capabilities. And if a company does not comply with that, then there is significant financial repercussions in terms of portions of revenue needing to be paid in fines. So the goal is really to try to level up the security posture for devices, connected devices, and I think that CRA is one way that we're seeing that happen. Now it's going to take time, and it's not only about initial security, it's about security over the next 5 years of that product when it's out there in the field. So I think that's also really important, that there's a life cycle aspect to this. It's not just set it and forget it. So anyway, in the security world, we're watching this, we're following this, and we're talking to our customers and partners about best practices that we are seeing come up in these guidelines, and then trying to figure out how do we implement those, and we implement them in the right way.
Right. Cryptography, a lot going on there. What are some of the changes in cryptography that we should be on the lookout for moving forward?
Yeah. So cryptography is a very, very specific thing that in our world we're tracking, because we want to make sure that we are encrypting these, using algorithms that can encrypt things in the strongest way possible, and over time making it stronger and stronger. So we have implemented the NIST post-quantum crypto algorithms that were finalized in 2024, and now we incorporate that as into a part of our products. So several of our very high-profile customers, financial services, healthcare, government, and sort of very, very critical industries, are taking a look at cryptography and trying to put the strongest algorithms that they can into their infrastructure and into their devices. So post-quantum crypto, I think, is something that we're going to be seeing adopted much more, and we're a big part of that whole conversation. Given all the very smart people that work at Keyfactor that are crypto experts. So.
Right. Right. Great stuff. What recommendations? People often talk about IoT as sort of the conflux of ops technology and information technology. OT and IT meeting. For people who are looking to integrate IoT into their operations in an industrial environment or a retail environment, what recommendations do you have for making that integration leap, getting IoT integrated with your backbone systems?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think from a trust, you have to be able to trust the IoT devices. So obviously if you're putting IoT within your enterprise, within your factory, within your retail environment, understanding how were those devices made, what type of baseline security was in them. You mentioned the Cyber Resilience Act. I think from a smart home perspective, there's the Matter standard, which is a really good, solid security implementation for smart home products themselves. So I think it's just having a little bit of awareness about the products that you're buying, how you can activate some of those security features so that when you put them on your network, and then from our recommendation is place an operational identity on that so that then you can use that to be the thing that's authenticating to the device. But it's those sort of best practices is really just knowing can you trust it, and then putting a layer of security on it that you can then trust it in your network, because that's something that then you're responsible for as an implementer of IoT and secure IoT.
Right. Hey, great show. We have Ellen moderating tomorrow an entire discussion of IoT security, including the IMC's new initiative. We're seeing a lot of excitement here at the show. Ellen, thanks so much for coming by. I know you got a busy schedule.
I know, it's great. Thanks for putting me in. Take care.